You know that saying that when the universe wants you to know something, or when the universe wants you to receive a message, that the all of the universe conspires just to deliver that message to you in whatever shape, way, or form. And I believe that if you are watching this video right now, if this video has managed to find you, then this video is exactly for you. I mean, sa ngayon, hindi ko alam kung ano yung mensahe. I don't have any ideas what the message is. That's what we're gonna shuffle for later. But all I know is the universe wants you to know something. And I know that through this video, you perhaps could find something, or you could find something in this video that would help you try to make sense of what the universe has been trying to tell you all along. Okay? I mean, we are just entering powerful times. I'm not sure if you're aware or if you're keeping up to date with the latest astro transits and trends and things that's happening. But in a nutshell, so many things are changing this 2025. For one, there's a lot of outer planets, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and even Pluto, who shift signs every 20 years, has shifted, is shifting, and will shift into different signs, which means on a collective level, grabe, there will be a lot of changes, and this is the change that people all around the globe will be able to feel. Hindi lang ito yung just a small part of the world would feel. No, this is us. This is everyone. This is you. This is me. This is everyone. With Pluto changing signs into Aquarius, I think we have felt, seen, experienced the influence of Pluto shifting into Aquarius, whether you know it or not, whether we know it or not. And in March, Saturn is transiting in Aries, which means that those people with a natal Saturn in Aries will be having their Saturn returns, which I know a lot of people fear, but how I choose to understand it and how I choose to anticipate it is that it's going to be a transit that's going to help put the different pieces of the puzzle together, because that's what Gabe needs. So I feel like as we enter this reading, and we don't have any cards yet, I feel like if you're having a difficult time, finding your footing, trying to understand what exactly is happening, as everything around us starts changing, this video is for you. Let's see. I want to start with just Oracle deck, just my Oracle deck here. And, we are using, by the way, we are using the Starseed Oracle deck. I think I got this off of a barter trade. Not sure, can't remember. But as I pulled this deck out of the box, you can see this card is the weight of the world. And I feel like that's the energy we are all coming in with. I feel like if you're watching this video, siguro pasan mo yung problema ng sambayan ng Pilipinas, sanlibutang masa, sangkalawakang, you get what I mean? I feel like you are that type of person, that has a big heart. And, people with big hearts tend to be the easiest to abuse. And I feel like maybe you've gone through abuse. Maybe you know it, maybe you don't. Pero ang feeling ko, most of the people watching this video have experienced some level of abuse that you may have become aware recently, or you're just becoming aware of now. And I feel like, as we enter 2025, I feel like that's what the universe wants us to acknowledge, that we have this weight on our shoulders. And, if we want to live like a more enlightened lives, we have to enlighten ourselves. Sometimes it's a choice, it's a choice we have to make. If we want to enlighten ourselves, or if we want to stay exactly how we are, where we are, without making any progress. So let's see. Weight of the world, boundaries, let it go. It is not yours to carry. I'm getting a lot of insights here, but for some of you guys, I feel like you have developed a coping mechanism. And I feel like it's because of the fear of confrontation that you've developed this coping mechanism of, aakuin mo na lang. It could be like responsibilities, it could be like obligations, even if you don't want them. I feel like if you just allow yourself to look through this pattern, I feel like you'll realize that this is actually a coping mechanism that you once used to cope with a specific trauma. And now it's not working. It's not working anymore. What was once a working coping mechanism, it's now irrelevant. It's now obsolete. And I feel like it's because the universe wants you to know that this is not yours. This is not yours. The universe wants you to know that you may have acquired this. Alam nyo yun? Yung parang siguro, pinsan nyo na lang to sa likod nyo. Maybe out of the feeling that this is your obligation or this is something that you need to do. Well, I feel like this is what we need to understand. That this is the place we need to be. We need to be in a place na, alam mo yun, no tense muscle at all. I feel like that's the kind of decompression the universe wants for you right now. Yung totally decompressed. And I feel like as long as you are choosing to carry shit that is not yours, imagine mo, let's say, okay, here's a clear example. Let's say we're climbing up a mountain and, we have to stay for a few days there. And the thing is, in this mountain, bawal mag-iwan ng, let's say shit, literal shit. I mean, you might think this is crazy, but this is how it is if you're going to climb Mount Everest. And when you're going to climb Mount Everest, bawal mag-iwan ng poops dun. So imagine if you're carrying the poop of all the people around you. Is that okay? Do you think that's okay? Do you think that's something you'd want to do? Choosing to carry the shit bag of every single person who's camping, who's trekking, who's climbing that freaking mountain with you. Because, I don't know, for whatever reason you think it's the thing you need to do. Right? Think about it. Now let's see. Let's get one more. Oof, that was quick. So exactly pag ganun ko minahulog agad, and sorry for my reactions. I'm getting quite excited about this. You got Star Ancestors. Beautiful card here, guys. And I'm drawn to both this year, 𝙭𝙬𝙧𝙬. All right, let's see. There's faces there. There's like skills there. Ancestors, it says here, hidden secrets, lost wisdom. Look a little deeper. Okay, there's a lot of things going on with this card. So, siguro isa-isahin natin. The first thing is that I feel like your ancestors are offering a bit of assistance to you. Well, it just makes sense. I mean, we are in the age, or we are in a time in which, what was once in the dark now must come into the light. And I feel like your star ancestors, or simply your ancestor guides, are coming in with a lot of offering, with a lot of propositions for you. And I feel like it's like an equal, alam mo yun, kayong magbe-benefit. You are gonna benefit from their presence, and you working with them will also benefit them in a way from wherever dimension they are in. So your ancestors are trying to lead you towards discovering, or, in a way, let me be careful with my words, rediscovering, uncovering basically ancestral strengths, talents, abilities, inner knowing, instinct, that is embedded within the ancestral lineage. And you might think that's crazy, pero think about it. I mean, in science, we have the branch of epigenetics. We have the understanding that the DNA is basically a data storage. It has all the information of everything that our ancestors had ever experienced. Something that I realized is that, we are like, para tayong mga Android, we're like iPhones, every time someone has a child, it's like, giving birth from iPhone 16. iPhone 16 had with another iPhone 16, and then they made an iPhone 17, and then the iPhone 17 will, in time find another iPhone 17 to pair up with, and then they have a child, and that child will be iPhone 18, and it's basically like that. And the codes for the operating system that you use to use the newest generation, the source code goes all the way back from the first generation of that device. Like how iOS 18 is basically a successor of iOS 7 and iOS 6 and 5, and yung mga farther generations that are totally very different from how we know Apple and iOS today. So basically what your guides want you to know is that your ancestors are trying to help you, unlock those ancestral strengths. But the thing is, when the ancestors try to lead you towards ancestral strengths, this is also the lesson where you have to face the ancestral trauma, the ancestral pain. This is the collective pain and fear and trauma that everyone in your family had gone through and is going through. So if you want to know what kind of strengths your ancestors want to give you right now, then I think you have to look around. You have to look at your family, like what are they good at? What are they doing in life? And what do you think they could have done even more? Okay, so this is a good card. And with Tehuti, Thoth, coming through here, there is a message that you are an old soul. And, within this soul, within the soul that you have is infinite knowledge and wisdom that only if you are able to develop such precise focus to be able to command, the workings of your mind, to unravel the books of wisdom and knowledge, it will come. A time will come when you will be able to do that, when I will be able to do that. And I guess that this is just a reminder from our ancestors that they have been doing a lot of research prior to us. So maybe, we can consider to look or to, take a glimpse into their research, to see if we can use some things from their research that could help us with ours. Anyway, this will take us along. We can go into this card so much more, but I want to get one last oracle card before we move on to the tarot. So what does the universe, your guides, want you to know? Deep cellular healing. You know what? I'm going to double down on what I've said. I feel like you've gone through so many challenging moments, probably recently. Now, I know I'm talking to a lot of people. And I know that some of you guys have gone through shit. I can feel that right now. I can feel like some of you gone through losses that is words can't even describe. And I feel like you feel like you lost parts of yourself. I can feel that there are some people who may be feeling like they've lost a sense of their wholeness as they were walking, and they were not even aware of it until now. The universe wants you to know that your healing, the healing that you've been praying for is coming, but you have to stay strong. You have to stand firm. And you have to allow, these old energies to simply just pass, to simply just flow and dissolve. For some reason, this woman, to me, her dress looks like cobra skin made out of light, and it reminds me of the healing qualities of the symbolism of snake, basically, like how in ancient Egypt, whenever you see snakes, they're basically representations of Kundalini energy or electricity, live energy. And I feel like perhaps you have to open yourself now to the potential of experiencing such a different energy this year, and for you to be able to get a feel of what kind of energy you're meant to experience this 2025. I feel like you have to shake, the old energy of 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020. Oh, ever long you need to go back. You need to shake that old energy off because the new energy can come. Imagine, para may baso ka ng tubig, tas puno yung baso mo ng tubig from 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago. It's already like madumi na, may alikabok na, kung ano-ano yung nakahalo. And you want to drink clean water. But how can I pour clean water into your cup, into this cup, this imaginary cup that I'm holding, kung puno na yung cup? You need to make space for new energies to come. It doesn't come unless you have the space for it. So it's also saying that this is also Arcturus energy, physical and emotional healing. I feel like there are some people who dealt with like a narcissistic energy here. I feel like for some people, kinuha yung kumpiyansa nila sa sarili. Damn, that's tough. I feel like you may have been manipulated. Some of you may have been manipulated to think lowly about yourself or to not see your strengths, not see the things that you're good at, the things that are valuable. And I feel like right now, what the universe wants you to know is that the only disconnection that happened is the disconnection of the brain to the heart. This is Arcturus energy. And I feel like you don't need to know everything right now. You don't need to have it all cleared up right now. Perhaps the only thing you need to do right now is to just reconnect that powerful force that you once had. And this is the power to connect the brain, the thinking, the mind, to the feeling, to the heart. But yeah, I feel like 2025 will be a very healing for you. And I feel like if some of you may be feeling physical symptoms, physical illnesses brought to you by your own emotions that you have left unresolved, I feel like as you are beginning to resolve the thick, the dense emotions, the energy will also adapt. The energy will also start to alchemize, to transmute, to, alam mo, parang masasala ulit yung energy nyo. It will be renewed. It will be rebirthed this year. So I feel like a lot of heavenly energies are coming your way this 2025. Again, I don't think you are seeing this by accident. I feel like the universe wants you to know that you are going to heal. You are already healing. Okay? I feel like maybe you're one of those stubborn people who just doesn't want to listen, to the good feeling. Kasi mas naging komportable tayong pakinggan yung negative feeling, I know that's ridiculous to hear, but it's true. Sometimes we choose to listen more to the negative feeling because we feel like it's the more correct feeling, because it's the only feeling some of us may have ever known. So I feel like the reason why you're here is because the universe wants to reiterate, wants to really put things into perspective that you are healing. And the most difficult part of healing is when you're reaching towards the end of a healing cycle, when you're about to heal a part of yourself, not fully, but a part of yourself that is sufficient enough to bring you, to the next level. So the universe wants you to know that you're not meant to stay broken. You're not meant to stay wounded. You're not meant to stay confused. You're not meant to stay bothered. You're not meant to stay stressed, anxious, in survival mode. You're meant to also learn from trust. You're also meant to learn how to be vulnerable. The universe wants you to learn gentleness. And I feel like that's the lesson the universe wants a lot of people, a lot of you guys, even me, perhaps, to learn this year. Because we're not used to gentleness. We don't think it exists anymore. So know that the weight of the world, again, the weight of the world is being lifted because the universe wants you to heal. The universe wants you to recover, to regenerate, because the universe knows that you're wiser now and can make more use of you if you are healthy, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Okay. I am getting a message for Scorpio risings. Kasi ang mga Scorpio risings, I feel like this is something we need to talk about. This card is giving me the feeling that we Scorpio risings need to listen a bit closer, because Pluto is transiting in our 4th house, and the 4th house is all about your home, sense of foundation. It's basically your upbringing. It's your programming. It's your home. And I feel like your star ancestors, especially you guys, Scorpio risings, I feel like we are all being called to cut, to take away the shit that our ancestors has allowed in our homes, shit from the outside. Let's say, imagine if let's say you're in a family outing, tas biglang lumabas yung tito mo, lakad, pagbalik, may poops siya ng aso at ilalagay sa lamesa. That's basically what happened. Our ancestors lived in a time of fear, of war, a lot of basically, the things that I'm so happy that we don't get to experience anymore. Our ancestors lived in darker times. So let's not put too much blame on them for bringing in a lot of shit, in the family bloodline. But that's why we're here. That's why you're here. And, the whole Pluto transit in Aquarius, I feel like that's going to break a lot of karmic cycles for lineages. And this is in turn going to make a very big ripple effect, a domino effect on the succeeding generations. Might not be such a wounded future after all if we can, just release what needs to be released, to throw out the trash, and to do a bit of spring cleaning, because spring is coming, a few months. Okay. So let's get some tarot cards. So what does the universe want you to know? Okay, let's get one more. Okay, so the first card that came out for you is the Two of Wands. And this card is giving me a bit of like an invitation vibes. Two of Wands. Wands energy are related to the fire element. And the fire in alchemy is related to the spirit. And if we're talking about higher spirit, so the first card that came out for you is the Two of Wands. And I am getting a feeling that this is the universe wanting to offer you, your torch, this torch. Alam mo parang sa Olympics, yung kapag, when they do the torch lighting ceremony, and they have to travel the torch, passing it around from different athletes, from one athlete to another, from one nationality to another nationality. And I feel like the universe is giving you the torch of spirit, like passing on to you the torch of spirit, spiritual fire. And this gives me, in my mind, the idea of, alam niyo yung sa yung sa Bible, the Pentecost, if I'm not mistaken, that was basically, it's a biblical account of when the Holy Spirit was said to have touched the disciples, giving them the gift of communication, being able to speak multiple languages. And in art, which religion and art is very closely correlated. We should not forget that. The Pentecost, or that biblical account, was always depicted to be a moment where the disciples have like a fire above their heads. So relating it to this card, I feel like this is the universe, pushing you forward to start a new chapter in your life where the Holy Spirit, especially if you're a Catholic or a Christian, where the Holy Spirit wants to fully reside, in your vessel, as a permanent resident, parang tenant, or hindi lang parang nakarenta, pero like a permanent resident in the vessel, which is, sabi nga nila, the body is the holy temple of the Holy Spirit. So, leaning more into the Two of Wands, into this specific Two of Wands, which is quite different from the traditional Two of Wands, I'm noticing that there's like a river, a stream, and it's behind this figure, this woman. And this is telling me that maybe how this is manifesting for you is like, maybe you're having a spiritual awakening right now. And hindi porket nagka-spiritual awakening ka na dati, hindi ka na ulit magkaka-spiritual awakening. We constantly have spiritual awakenings. That's the path. That's basically the pathway, the only pathway to enlightenment. And I feel like this card is giving us a glimpse into the understanding that as you accept, whatever torch, whatever offer, your guides, your angels, whatever you believe in, God is trying to offer you. The moment that you take that, I feel like you will be introduced to the power of your own consciousness, the power of your own soul in a way. So more on the practical side, I feel like now is a good time to start planning. This is the best time to be motivated. This is the best time to start looking for whatever kind of inspirations you need. Because this is a good time to be inspired. This is a good time to be motivated. It's a good time to start planning, start strategizing exactly the ways. I mean, you don't need to know exactly what you need to do to get where you want to go, but it is more than enough, at least at this point, to just know exactly where you want to go and how you think you want to get to where you want to go. Because this card is telling us that with the right willpower, with the right intentions, we can always make a way. The universe always makes a way. The universe makes a way. Okay. Let's get one more card. And again, I just want to leave, the whole reading open-ended. No specific questions, just what the universe wants you to know. 10 of Wands in reverse. I feel like, okay, I'm talking to a specific group of people right now. And I feel like the universe wants you to know that it's okay to let whatever weight weighing you down go. It's all right to let go. Because I feel like the universe is empathizing with you. I feel like the universe knows that you're tired. There's a part of you that is tired, who's barely just going forward, who's barely moving. And I feel like Yes, one of the greatest lessons on this planet is learning how to be selfless. But let us not discount that it is also an equally challenging yet very rewarding lesson to also learn how to be quite selfish. Not selfish, like totally selfish, but what's a better word? Like self-loving, self-prioritizing, self-empowering. Maybe that's a better word we can use, regardless what words we can use or not. The Ten of Wands in reverse is simply reminding you to, or maybe this is also like an offer, like offering you to take a step back and to look at your situation from from an outside perspective, from a different vantage point, from a different lens, a different angle. How is your situation presenting itself to you? And I feel like you gotta be honest, because I feel like there's a part of you that just is really, really tired. And I feel like a lot of you guys are in the middle of literally getting burnt out. So again, Saturn is entering Aries in March. And I feel like this is that assistance for us to also, prepare for this transit, to prepare for Saturn's entrance into Aries. Because I feel like once Saturn goes into Aries, we really have to be choosy of what we give our energy to. We have to be very strategic. We have to be very wise and smart with how we exhaust the currency of our energy. So the universe wants you to know that you deserve to live a lighter life, but only if you can allow yourself to. Only if you can give yourself the full permission to let whatever you need to let go. All right? All right, so let's get one more card before we get your guidance. All right, so the card that you got is the Hierophant, which, in esoteric traditions is also known to be like the revealer of the sacreds. And I feel like this is the universe wanting you to understand that the reason why the universe wanted you to see this video is because this video is your initiation. You're literally being initiated into a higher paradigm, a paradigm in which your situation has no power over you, where your power is being given back to you. But you can only discover your power depending on the depth that you are willing to dive. The key is in front of you. But are you brave enough to use the key? Are you brave enough to seek for the sacred, to seek for the truth, to seek for yourself? The only way to do that, though, is if you allow the old structures in your life to fall apart, right? I'm not saying everything. And I'm not saying that structures are bad. Honestly, and quite contrastingly, structure is always needed to maintain balance. And if there are certain structures in your life that's keeping you off balance, that's what you need to focus on. That's what you lean in first. This card is telling us that you're exactly where you need to be right now. This is a teaching moment for you. And through this moment that you are currently going through, you'll be able to teach a lot of the people that you will be meeting, you will be interacting with, you will be in love with, you'll be friends with. In time, whether you already know them or not yet, this is a teaching moment that is basically very, very valuable. Okay, so I feel like the universe is really clear on a lot of message of like letting go of the shit that we've placed on our own shoulders. I feel like the universe doesn't want another Jesus Christ, another self-sacrificial lamb. I feel like the universe wants empowered people, who actively seeks for the truths in life, or at least your own truth, your own definition of what truth is. Now, to end the reading, we will be asking messages from your angels or your guides, or again, whatever name you call them. And we will be using the Angel Answers Oracle deck for this one. So let's see. What is the final message for our viewers, for our audience, dear audience? That's very concise and that's very clear. The other card fell to the ground. The first one, I have it in my hands. So the first card is if you believe. Second card is success. I feel like this is literally just plain mathematics at this point. If you believe plus success, I think you already know what you're going to get. All right? So whether you believe na coincidence to or hindi, whether you believe that this is something that that God had destined to happen for you to watch this video, regardless, if you have found something that makes sense to you or that feels right for you, then by all means take it. Right? The only thing that I aim for or that I intend to do is to send a message, to reflect the message of the universe through my cards, through the power of the intuition to you, whoever's watching and wherever you're watching this from. And from my end, it has been such a pleasure and it has been an honor to read for you. This did feel quite different from the first times I tried doing this. I felt more connected than ever. I really did feel the energies as I was channeling the message. So I do feel for all of you guys. I feel for those people who's gone through intense trauma and pain, and all my best wishes for you guys. And if you enjoy this video, then I hope you'd let me know, so I know that there is a need for more of this kind of video. If you're still watching at this point, I want to thank you for listening to your heart. And if you've enjoyed this video, if you found certain things that's useful for you or that's helpful for you, I hope you can leave me a like, share, and perhaps even a comment. Let's talk in the comments. Anyway, my name is 𝙧𝙤𝙪'𝙧𝙚, and I hope you had a great time with me. Thank you, and see you in the next one.